Yeah, yeah. So how many kids are you in quarantine? You got?
Sure.
Yeah, so you know the whole deal. I'm over there crying to you, like, yo, I'm smothered by babies. You're like, yo, I'm in the same shit. All right. How do you work on your rap with the babies in quarantine? How do you do it? It's like, uh,
To be honest with you, I have barely worked on my rap during this quarantine. I've been kind of like writing a little bit for a couple battles, but I've been mostly doing, shit like this and writing for podcasts and networking and just doing other shit, like, you know what I mean? You're right. When you get the kids, it's so hard to get that space. You know what I mean?
anything like the kid C Lance. He wants me to hop on something with the guy from Canada, the young kid Mercules. I know him since he's
Yep.
16.
Yep.
And he's like, yo, could you write to this beat? He's sending me the beat. I'm like, yeah, I'm on it, but I can't. It's like, when can I lock myself in a room and write a rhyme? It's like, quarantine's crazy. Before, I used to send them to the daycare. They got the kindergarten here, so you got 6 hours before they get home, and you write your rhyme real quick, like.
Oh, yeah. Mercury's, that's a really good guy, man. He's like, I've known him, same thing, since he was like 16, and he's never changed, man. He blew the fuck up, but he's never changed. He's a solid motherfucker, man. He's cool as shit.
Yeah, because Snack did a tour for me. I don't know, how old is Merc now? Because at the time he was 16. So, and he brought Merc on the tour. He said, do you mind if I bring my homie, the young homie, with us? So I said, yeah, sure. So we brought Merc on his first tour ever. And that's when he was 16, little fat kid. I was like, oh, he's a funny fat kid, So then he's doing good for himself now. So shout out to Mercules. I always tell a funny story. His name was Merc Mikes. And I'm like, yo, that name's terrible. And then that's when he became Mercules. Well, maybe I even made the joke he should be Mercules. I don't even remember. I don't want to take credit if that's not true, but we definitely.
Hey, no, man, it's official. You named him. You named him.
I knew it was definitely on that tour the name happened, though. Yeah.
Yo, first off, I see you grew your beard back.
Yeah, the quarantine. It looks crazy. Crazy.
Yo, I seen that you shaved it off. I commented under it. You shaved it off?
Oh yeah, but I'm old. The shit grow in 4 seconds.
Yo, how uncomfortable were you that first day though?
I look disgusting. I just wanted to shave my whole body and jump out of a window naked and die.
But yo, you didn't do the cuts in this time. You let it grow in full.
I'm gonna do something eventually. I gotta do cartoon character shit. Like I don't like looking like a normal. I need to look cartoonish. Yo, that's big love, man. When they asked Kane, Big Daddy Kane, who's my idol. That's like literally like one of my, if not number one, he's number 2, 3, or 4. He's in my top 4, if not number 1. And I saw that clip you posted. They said, what battle rappers you like? He said, Pat Stay. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's official. Yeah. See, I'm like I said, man, it's no disrespect. I'm just out of touch so much. So dudes be like so high up on the battle ladder and like, you hear the gimmick ones more, like, oh, did you hear this gimmick battle rap's gonna happen? And then everybody talking about that shit on Twitter and shit. And you go, oh, and then you watch it and you're like, that shit wasn't the real shit, so.
Yeah. And, and it's a lot different nowadays too. So I don't expect they're so long. Like if you watch a battle, it's an hour long or like 5, 6, 7 minute rounds. And, it's mostly written and shit has changed. So I get it, man. You know what I mean? It's not,
battle rap, it became a whole nother sport. It became a whole nother sport because when I was coming up, it was the 80s. I was a little kid, and you used to go from house party to house party and town to town and whatever. And it wasn't like you didn't know who you was battling. You just showed up and dudes would hop on stage. So it was more like who could outflow and out rap to the beat and rap better. And then you'd have a couple freestyle lines where you'd say something stupid about the guy and I would take the party down, Then when the new style came about, I didn't understand it yet because, you're old school, you're in your ways, and they had me host a Scribble Jam with Master Ace and Prince Paul a decade and a half ago. And it was the acapella rapping and sometimes the dudes couldn't even rap, but they'd have like a funny punchline and they'd tear the house down with like a comedy joke. And I was like, come on, man, that's not a rapper, not all of them. So I kind of was a little turned off by some of it, but then through the years, you start watching it and the battle scene became complex. Like these dudes are coming super complex lyrically because people be asking me like, yo, you want to step in the battle zone or whatever, and it's something, of course, if you're a competitive rap artist, whether you're a recording artist, touring artist, you say, hell yeah, in your mind. Like, that's something for your legacy. You go, you know, that shit would be incredible. But it's a different sport. So you don't want to step in a sport not understanding all the in and outs. So, like, if I ever did the battle scene, I want to definitely, you know, put the recording to the side, the touring to the side, and study the shit and learn. Because, you know, you could be the best rapper doing a good rap style, but that's not the game. It's a different game. That, you know, there's you know better than anybody because that's what you do. There's little tricks, little things that you learn in the pocket here to do this. To if somebody says that, you got 4 responses already ready for this. You know, so it's a different sport. So you don't want to go in there, you know, too green. You want to go in there, you know, not just being rapping and spitting bars, because that's not what the sport is. It's a multi-layered sport, a different sport. You know.
Yeah, there's so much to it. There's so much to it, and like. And but some of your people, man, I know you're cool with Locksmith. You know, he used to battle.
Well, Lock is a rare one who could make records, battle, freestyle, tour, do a live show performance. And he's one of the very few, because a lot of times you get a great record maker. They can't freestyle, they can't battle, they can't do anything else. You know, a lot of times you get a great battle rapper, and then you put them on a record, they can't do that. A lot of time you get the greatest freestyler on the planet, and you put them in the studio, they make the worst song. So, like, when you see, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. No,
go ahead. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so, you know, when you get a multifaceted MC that could do everything, every aspect of it, it's a blessed MC. That's why I think Lock is really, really, truly a great man. He's one of the best West Coast rappers ever, you know? So, yeah.
He is, man. King Los, he jumped in the ring, too.
Oh, he did? How did he do? Because Los is a tremendous freestyler. I don't know if he's a good battle rapper.
Tremendous. He did good. He did good. I'd say he did good. He battled on the same card as me. It's actually the first time I met him. And he did good. He did good. See a lot of industry cats, they come in and I get it. They're like, man, I don't need to take notes. I don't need to study nothing. I'm this.
And then, different game. Yeah.
And then you see Cannabis coming. You seen what happened to him. That was the saddest shit to ever watch.
Yeah. It's like a mixed martial artist trying to be a boxer, or a boxer trying to be a mixed martial artist. You can't just go, hey, I could punch hard, I'm gonna go in that ring. You know, you gotta, you know, or yo, I could kick hard. Yeah, but you can't kick in this. It's all different sports. So you gotta study what the fuck is happening. And honestly, you know, because back in the, you know, KRS One would come out now, style you on shit. He'd have bars too, but he'd do like this crazy flow style, ride the beat, go crazy, get the crowd hype. Now it's like, no, that's not the only, you know, if you rap better than somebody, that means something, but you still have this little shit you got to do, you know? So I think eventually, see, the thing is, my whole bread and butter, the way I eat and I feed my family, is touring. And that's even more than recording, making records. Like, people see I don't put out a lot of albums. What I do is I tour nonstop. I do the minimum 100, not right now, obviously, with the damn corona, but 100 shows a year minimum. If it's a good show, I do 200. And my whole thing since I'm a kid, it wasn't even about making records. It was hopping on the stage, rocking the house. It's an old school mentality. It's an OG mentality where you rock the house. Who's the nicest performer? Who could get the crowd the hypest? You know, so and that's another thing I think battle rap fans sleep on that. I think live performing touring artists sleep on battle rap. I think every person that doesn't do the other thing sleeps on every aspect of it, because, like, say a battle rap is tremendous, and then you go, okay, here's 75 minutes to hold down a show, a concert of 1,000 people, make everybody hype and crazy, and leave the show, you know, obliterated, like, wow, that was the greatest night of my life type of shit. That's a skill in itself too. And the same thing is where, like, somebody that could do a great show doesn't know how to do a record, and they sleep on a person that makes good records. There's so many aspects to hip hop music, you know. So you know, and battle rappers are obviously, they're so, like, I watch some of the battle rap sometimes, and I'm like, I'm super into lyrics. That's my whole shit. But these dudes will be saying shit, and I'm like, I have to rewind it, and then I'm like, wait, how did the person he battled understand what he meant with all those layers in the middle of the battle? So you have to be sharp with your mind, because you can't even miss the multi-layered lyric that the motherfucker against you said. You know, if you do, you look like you're a sucker and didn't address it, you know? So it's like, it's all, you know, it's all super talent, you know, if you could do anything at high level. And like, when you inboxed me, you said, oh, yo, I'm an elite a battle rapper. And I said, yo, I know the name. I heard the name. And then I I realized, like I said, the kid from out here, he has a battle league. Don't let the label you in Germany, and his name's Jolly J. And he recently had a battle with the famous our guy Disaster.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but Disaster, is historically a better battle rapper than Jolly J. But he got off the plane, he wasn't prepared, and he started reading his phone, and he didn't, he kind of, it was some. So Jolly J actually kind of won the battle, even though Homeboy is a better rapper, a better freestyler, better, battle MC. But things happen in that stuff. He showed up and Germany, same type of thing you did, where you were freestyling funny shit. But so the kid. Oh, but my point is, the guy Jay that I'm talking about. He said, "Oh, Stay, he's the elite. He's one of the best in the whole." I was like, "Oh, so word like that?" He said, "Yo, he's an elite." I said, "Oh yeah, he said he was elite." So yeah.
No, I usually don't talk about myself like that, but I was like, I just want him to maybe take me serious, be like, okay, man, there might be somebody, and then I can, I know that you respect the culture. Now, even if you don't watch battle rap, you're a battle rapper anyway. Not even you're a lyrical rapper, so you write battle raps even if you're not me.
Honestly, it's just the problem is I came from an era where there wasn't recordings and cell phones and documented battles. I was no lie battling in the streets at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I came from an era where you couldn't be an MC and not be a battle MC, even if you had to be in the streets and battle. So that was part of it. We weren't like, I'm going to get in the studio and make a YouTube channel and really be a great rapper. Nobody thought like that. It was all about, we got to go in the party and destroy every rapper at the party. So we came from battle rap, and anybody from our era, all the Wu members, the Killer Priests, the Jizzes, they were all in this. Anybody before that, it was any of these rappers. None of them will ever tell you that they weren't battle rappers, because we all were battle rappers. Now, when it became more of a pop culture, it's more like, that's battle rap stuff. It's like hip hop is battle rap, man. That's what it's a competitive sport. And now the problem with people who make records, they start thinking oh, I'm already good enough because I have fans, so I don't want that. I'm above that shit. That's what they believe, But it's that's not, So you're allowed to be a whacker rapper than somebody, and you're allowed to not have to compete. And the other thing that they say, they go, well, it's about vibes. It's about vibes. The music I'm making, I make vibes. It's so you have the excuse to be whack at rapping, It's back in the day, you couldn't be that. You had to really be able to be a shooter,
And that's why I'm so about the Big Daddy Kane shit, because it's so different from back then. I know that he grew up battling, because any real rapper battled
that was Brooklyn. That was Brooklyn. Yeah, they was all battle.
Had to battle, right? So, but but this style now is so different from then. Bro, I've had Drake and Eminem tell me say Pat Stay is the best, but then when Big Daddy Kane does it, I'm like, damn, that's a whole different era. The fact that he even knows me, to me, is just it's just huge. I'm not bigging myself up right now. It's just just talking about the difference in battle rap. Just the fact that he even stays tuned. That's super cool, man.
Well, back in Brooklyn, if you talk to a lot of the old school Brooklyn heads, if you started getting a reputation in the neighborhood, dudes would show up at your house and try to battle you. They did knock on your door. Killer Priest was telling me a story. I think the guy's name was King Destroyer or Prince Destroyer. There was a guy in the neighborhood. He went to Kane's house. He went to Priest's house. He went to Jizza house. He would go everywhere. But there was a lot like that. They see you in the street. Who's starting to get a buzz? I mean, dudes would step up to you and try to battle you on the spot. And Priest said when he brought it up to Kane, he's like, yeah, of course. I remember. Ask Prince Destroyer about me. He knows what happened, supposedly, So
what an era to live in, man. That would have been dope as fuck, man. Because I mean, that's what I did, but not to that extent. You know what I mean? That's what you did when you're rappers. You're right when I got to high school. I went to a new high school. See a group of dudes. This dude. He said. His boy was like, yo, he wants to battle you. He heard you rap. I'm like, nah, I'm not into it. I walk in the bathroom and wash my hands. Next thing you know, boom, they all crowded around me. I hear the beatbox. I'm like, I had to do it. But I was with it, and I bodied them. And then from then on, we were cool. And then it was just, I thought it was just, it's like a respect thing. Even though it's super competitive and aggressive, it was always a respect thing at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you were saying you're more, you like to be a performer, like you run 100 shows a year type of shit, and you rock the crowd. Those are the best battle rappers. Any of the top tier, even the people that get I'm talking about like maybe 60, 70, 80 grand a battle. Those are the guys that perform their ass off. Not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to
Well,
name the name.
the famous old school well, not old school, but mid school '90s battle was where they said Juice lost to Supernatural, and a lot of people say if you really go lyrically, Juice might have edged that, but Supernatural was doing the theatrics, and he was ripping posters and was doing the performance piece. So that's a super famous battle. Obviously, I'm bringing up, but that's somebody said already one of the best live performers. Thank King Blunted. But no, but yeah. So yeah, performance, and obviously, same thing when you're throwing a punchline in a live show. If you throw an aggressive hand out, the crowd they think you killed it more. But if you say the same line, calm, it could be the same exact line, but you said it calm. They not whoa, but you could just end your verse like da, and they're like whoa, just because you put that extra aggression on the fucking thing. So it's all performance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I always say, like, people say sometimes I win by performance because I own the shit. But then again, I'm like, well, if performance isn't involved, then why aren't we just doing this on wax? If it's only about our rhymes, which my rhymes are tough as fuck too, but this is a performance. We're in front of 3,000, 4,000 people. You better perform.
That's what hip hop is, man, and that's what it started. People don't understand that because people be like, well, how many views or how many records or how many? It's like, yo. The Cold Crush Brothers, I don't mean to, I'm bringing it way too old school, but the 70s, that's where it started. And people thought making records was corny at the time. It was like, yo, who could rock the hardest on stage? And you go Force MDs who were originally Force MCs, they would battle the Cold Crush. And these people, it was all about stepping on the stage. Whoever rocked the house the best would be remembered that night. Everybody else got the fuck forgotten, unless they came back harder at the next show. But that's what it always was. And record making started happening way later in the game. The first big record, as you know, is Sugar Hill Gang, and they were looked at like that's not the rappers, so it was a different, so then people started making records, and it became a new ballpark. It was like a new ball game. It was like, who gives a fuck about the stage show? Because we recorded it, really nicely with this good producer, with this good beat, and even though the rhyme's mediocre, the song's great,
Yeah. So. Yo, what did you think? I'm sure you're seeing it.
Somebody said these guys are twinning.
Yo, it's funny. I was about to wear one of the same type of hats just out of respect, but I was like, no, let me not copy him just like that. But yo, what did you think of? Did you see the the Cannabis versus Disaster battle when he pulled out his notepad and said, "I quit"?
I didn't see it, but I'm on social media, so you hear as soon as the shit happens that.
Like this was years before he pulled up. Like he quit. He's like. He stopped the whole crowd. He said, "You win. You got skills. I can't freestyle. I'm not a freestyler." Supernatural was behind him, like he was in his corner, like, "Are you serious right now?" And he pulled his notepad out and started reading his rhymes off his book, and he's getting booed. And it was such a sad moment in hip hop because it was like, yo, like even though because Disaster was like this. Even talking to him, he's like, "This is why it bothers me because I feel like I'm putting my own dog to sleep." And it was like, and everyone, like the whole thing, like it was sad to watch. Like as a hip hop head, it was crazy to watch, man.
But here's another thing, though: is Cannabis for years had some kind of, and I'm not, the problem is, battling is the same thing as a boxing ring. If you're mentally not stable in the mind. You could have all the skills in the world, but you'll fold mentally. Like a old Mike Tyson. He was getting beat up by guys that weren't on his level, Cannabis for 10, 15 years hadn't been mentally, he joined the army. He was like, he didn't know what the fuck he wanted to do in life. He was it wasn't the best time in Cannabis's life mentally. And I knew somebody that was touring with him at the time, and he'd like disappear out the hotel room and they couldn't find him for 3 days and not show up to shows. And it was like, he needed the money, and he mentally you're not there. So Cannabis now one of the biggest moments of Cannabis's career is being remembered for this mentally unstable moment where he just wasn't there. So if you talk about how good Cannabis was in '98, nobody gives a shit. They were the Notebook guy. That's part of life, though.
I know, yeah. And people keep doing it. Cassidy comes in, it keeps getting smoked. It's really sad to watch, man. I feel like some of these dudes, if they want to jump in, should study it a little bit more because it is different, you know. It is different.
Yeah.
What's the battle you've seen live? I know you go back, man, and you've probably seen it. I don't know if you go.
I was there the day that Craig G beat Supernatural. I was there. It was at the New Music Seminar in New York City. I was eating a hot dog, a hamburger. They had like a little food in there. Everybody, Mobb Deep, nobody was famous yet. They were all trying to get on. Mobb Deep did a little show, like they were nobodies at the time. They had like one record out that wasn't successful yet, and 8 months later it blew up. But like it was a seminar because there was no internet at the time. So all the rappers, all the musicians had to go to the seminar to kind of politic and get people's cards and so everybody could network. And I'm sitting there. The label made me go there, and I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear like, "Yo, Craig G's going in," and I went in the room, and he was bodying Supernatural. And at the time, Supernatural was the most famous freestyler on the planet because the New York radio station gave him like a 45-minute show, or he had his own radio show, so he'd go on the air and freestyle for 45 minutes and imitate everybody's voice, and everyone thought this was the untouchable freestyle. And he beat Juice too. He beat he was everybody. So people thought this is the untouchable, and Craig G from the Juice Crew bodied him, so I was there for that one. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I know Supernatural. That's so dope that he's still in tune, like for Supernat to come to Cannabis's battle just to like show up. That's like such a monumental type of thing, man. I know he must have been let down, man. But it is what it is, man. No one. I still bump, Poet Laureate too, and I still like think Cannabis is.
See, I don't go for people's downfalls. Like there's a saying. I think the Marx Brothers said it's like in America. Well, I guess Canada too. They remember you for your last record or whatever, your last win. But like in Europe and the rest of the world, they remember you for your greatest achievement. So it's like. If you did a beautiful piece of art, they'll remember the piece of art. They're not going to go, well, his last shit was terrible. They go, that's the man who made this film. That's the man who did this. So it's a different thing. Like if somebody made music that I think is unbelievably classic, and they made 10 whack records after that, I'm still going to listen to the classic album and be like, wow, this is the creators of this classic album. There's nothing I could say, but they made a classic, So not a lot of people could say they made a classic. So when somebody made a classic, I'm not saying Cannabis never made classic albums, but he made classic rhymes. Like he had some.
Yeah, he did. He did.
In his prime,
No, I hope you're cool that this isn't like an interview. I like to just meet people as buddies, and I didn't want to be like, so tell me about the time with this and this. So what got you into this and this and that? And fucking tell me about the biggest shit like you answer every interview. You know what I mean? I'd rather just chop it up as homies. You know what I mean? I like to learn from you.
Yo, that was the first Canadian accent when you said bout. I don't want to say what happened bout. you don't sound like a Canadian, but you said the bout. How do you guys say bout? About?
I guess they say a boat.
Yeah, about. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I forgot you was Canadian. Yeah, until I heard that, I was like, what part are you from?
I'm from Nova Scotia, right 20 minutes from Classified, 30 minutes from Classified.
Yeah, I went there. We did a new song together. We got a video for it called Wondering, and the kid Dave Miles, the singer Dave Miles?
Yeah.
He's in the video. He sang the chorus, and Classified flipped the beat, and we did a video. And I shot it recently in Nova Scotia. I flew out there and everything. Not the whole video, but just the part. I got Classified on his drum machine and David on his guitar. The song's called Wondering. It's out on YouTube right now. But let me do the cheap plug, man. The new album, All My Heroes Are Dead, is coming out April 17th. It's my new album, and got a song out called Golden Oldies right now with Atmosphere, and the first video was called Legendary Loser, and the album's 19 songs, and it's probably my best work to date. So I just had to let them know in case they're not aware, because we're independent artists here. We're not we don't have the big machine giving us the push. We got to push ourselves, So. Yeah.
No, please do push it. I think Classified's in this chat. He was right in. He's probably here right now. He was in this right before you came on too. So. That's a friend of mine. I did a song with him last year too. Speaking of, you say this was your best. This is your best shit to date. my homie Nino Bless was just talking to me the other day, and he was like, "Yo, you're doing," or it was yesterday. He goes, "You're doing an interview with RA?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Ask him how he's managed to get better over all the years that he's rapped." He goes, because he feels like you've gotten like you're at like your peak, getting like amazingly better at this age, and been doing it for so long. And most people, they don't have that hunger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the thing. If you don't have the hunger, you're not going to get better. So the only way I want to make new songs and new features and rap still is if I'm advancing. Like if I start deteriorating and getting worse at the thing, it's like, why should I give that, you know, like you're dead and then they're going to hear whack songs by you, you know? So like I'm either going to get better or not do it no more. So, you know, I guess that's just the mentality, you know, there's no reason to do it. And Nino Bless, we were supposed to do a song like 5. He sent me beats and then I don't know. He asked me for songs, but then he never does the songs. I don't know. So plus he does out. Yo, Nino is super dope lyrical. I post it, but sometimes he does these songs where he does these weird high pitched voices, and I'm like, yo, why don't you do like the normal rap voice? Like, and I'm like, yo, Nino. He's like, yo, that's the young kids like that or whatever. I don't remember what his answer was, but I'm like, well, why you? And he's like, hey, fuck with the Illuminati. He's like, yo, Nino, what up, man?
Yo, Nino, he's probably watching too. That's funny. I clown Nino all the time, and he clowns me too. I clown him all the time, man. He's that's hilarious, man. Yeah. Let me talk about, because I seen you on the on Vlad, and I feel like, man, honestly, Vlad. There's a part of me that don't like him, but I won't get into that because I don't need to get into you in that conversation and whatever it is, what it is. But as far as new rappers, is it hard? Like, is there anyone new that you listen to? Like, knowing what kind of rapper you are, is it hard to like blend in and, you know?
Yeah, there's a ton of good new yo, you know that, man. Like there's young kids that are like influenced by like dope ass MCing, you know? It's like they're usually not the ones, some of them do, but not too many. Usually the really great young MCs, they're not really getting people aren't into MC and they want that you know, party record or whatever the fuck they want now. So it's like, but if you go online and you look at ciphers and you look at, you know, cats spitting, you'll see these dudes come up with these incredible rhymes. You know, now the internet, so you see a lot of young kids like spitting, going ridiculous and stupid, and you know, there's a lot of kids that can spit, a lot of dope young kids, super dope kids, you know. So,
I need to dig further, man. You know what I mean? I won't even lie. Like I'm so stuck in the past, and I probably listen to the exact opposite shit as you, man. Believe it or not, like I grew up on. See, I got older brothers, so the shit I grew up on was super West Coast shit. I was on like the Dog Pound, you know, obviously Snoop. You know, my favorite group of all time, believe it or not, is South Central Cartel. My favorite artist of all time is DJ Quick. Like I grew up funky shit. My father was a bass player, so funk was like real deep, you know what I mean? But I think my first tape was, I think maybe Fool Schnick.
You were Quick.
No.
Did you lose me?
I hear you now. No, you good now.
Did you lose me?
No, you seem good. I can hear you now.
Well, DJ Quick is. Can you hear me? Okay, DJ Quick is musically one of the best musicians hip hop has ever seen. Like DJ Quick is one of the greatest musicians, and he's serious about his music, man. And like if you play him any song, he'll name the samples in your fucking songs that you didn't even remember using. Like he knows music like the back of his fucking hand, yo. It's crazy. You know, funny, quick.
Yeah, please.
Shit, I'm losing you. Oh no, funny DJ Quick story was, you know his big hit record that Dre produced with him, Truth Hurts. You know that song?
Yeah.
It was the Indian beat. They got sued for it, like for 150, like they sampled some shit off the TV. But originally, Quick.
Shit.
Technology.
Yes.
Yeah, what I was saying is I did that record to that beat, the Truth Hurts beat, before Dre bought it. And
Oh,
I got a call. I got a call from Quick. Said DJ Quick said, "Yo, Ray, don't be mad at me." I said, "What?" He's like, "Yo, Dre, give me 50 grand or 60 grand." I don't know what the exact price, but it was a big amount. I said, "Of course, I'm not mad at you. Take my verse off the shit. Give it to Dre for 50 grand or 100. I don't know how much he got paid, but it was a big smash hit record." But yeah, yeah.
that's crazy, man. That like that DJ Quick. Like to me, that's so huge. Like and like I said, artist. He's my favorite. Like all around artist. I don't think he's the best rapper, but I think he's a good rapper. But as far as a musician, I think he's unbelievable.
I love the joint he did for Tony back in the day. That's one of my. I'm a little bit of an R&B head. I love my R&B and soul and old school shit. So,
Me too.
yo, people being like, "You come back to Stanhope, New Jersey?" Yo, guys, I don't know if we're ever gonna perform again. We don't know what the fuck is going on right now. Nah, I obviously will perform again, but yeah, times are crazy right now. I just lost a whole European tour, a whole, I think Chile. I was going all over the world, and like everybody else, the shit's all canceled. And my I had a USA tour coming up for June and July. That's canceled. So all and some people be like, "Yo, why you putting an album out during this time? That's fucking selfish." I'm like, "Yo, you guys are so fucking stupid. Like the worst time for an artist ever to put out an album is when they can't fucking tour off the fucking album." So no, like I just didn't want to, people have been waiting. I haven't put out an album for so long. So for me to be like, "Well, let me wait another 6 months to put it out when things are normal so I could tour off of it." Nah, it's like, fuck it. I'll lose the tours. I'll put the music out, the fans could listen to it, and hopefully, good things happen when the world kind of gets back to normal, So yeah,
You sell merch?
yeah, yeah, like that's a big hustle. You got to sell the merch, There was times when I was broke where like I'd go do an opening thing, like I'd go open for Ghostface or somebody like, and I'd sit at the merch table for like an hour and a half and just hustle the whole time, and like I would do a whole tour with just Tech Nine, Travi, the guy that runs Strange. Those guys, they all make fun of me because they go, "Yo, remember RA used to show up to shows with like garbage bags and just throw them shits on the table and sell fucking shirts out of garbage bag?" I'm like, "Yeah, but that shit added up every night. You sit there, and plus people want to take a picture with you and talk to you, so they don't want to look like a cheap prick, so they'll be like, 'Oh, I'll take a shirt too,' So the longer you out there." So
You know what's a
I
good,
like the merch hustle, So,
you know what's a good merch
yeah, go
hustle
ahead.
too, man? If you sell them online. I'm sure you've done this before, but I always tell this to people because it always works. If you have like 2 hours of your day, you get 100 DMs. Yo, all right, big fan. Yo, all right, something. I've been listening to you. Yo, this got me through some shit. If you spend 2 hours or 1 hour video messaging every person, for example, yo, Andrew, I appreciate that, man. Much love. I sincerely appreciate your support. I got stuff coming up soon. You have a great day. By the way, I got some merch available, so-and-so. Peace. Not only do they buy the merch, but they freak out. They're like, "Oh my God, this guy is kind enough to personally reach out to me and thank me. Of course I'm going to buy merch." Dog, when I would do that, almost every person would buy some shit because they're just so blown away that you're so cool. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yo, let me.
Street said, hey, Street Ston, you say Pat's sexy. I'm his twin, they saying. So I'm not sexy. What the fuck? Yo, somebody said RA had dirty underwear during his show in Romania. Yeah.
Yeah, who gives a
Now,
fuck?
go ahead, Pat. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to comment. That's
I got a real,
yeah, I can see that.
I got a real
Again.
question, man. Can you tell me and us, I guess, about your song "Uncommon Valor"?
Oh yeah, that's a true story. My father was in Vietnam, and the United States government sprayed a chemical on its own people. It was called Agent Orange, and it was to kill the foliage and kill the fish in the water. The Viet Cong, they would be in the jungle, so they would win the fight because American soldiers would go in there and they'd be all hidden and shit. The Viet Cong. So they killed all the trees, they killed all the foliage, they tried to poison the fish, but they were spraying it on places where American soldiers were going, and it wasn't tested properly. So what Agent Orange does, it gets in your genes, and it fucks your whole, it fucks your kids up, your grandkids up. So my brother, he couldn't walk or talk. He was born retarded, and my sister couldn't walk or talk. She was born retarded, and my brother was blind. And my older sister, who was born normal, she had a kid that died at 6 months old. His body just stopped working. So like yeah, the government, they'll spray shit on their own people and then send them home after they train you to be a killer. They got my dad over there killing. They'll poison him, send him home, and kill my father's children. So Agent Orange was a true story because and Pads originally said, "Yo, you always wearing a Vietnam shirt. Let's do a Vietnam song." I said, "Sure." And Stoop sent over a beat, and I started rapping some Rambo type shit, like rocket launches and just killing some Vietnam, not a true story, just some Vietnam type shit. And then Stoop changed the beat, and I was like, you know what, this beat is different. Let me write something totally different. I said, you know what, a Vietnam story, my father. So I just wrote that, and it became like a really highly acclaimed part of the career. A lot of people have it up there. So.
Bro, that's like.
Hello.
That's like one of the most insane stories I've ever heard in hip hop. Period.
You're breaking up now.
You can hear me?
Yeah, a little bit, just a little breaking up, but yeah.
You hear me now?
It's breaking up again. Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, I was saying that's probably like that's one of the most insane stories I've ever heard in hip hop. Like that's crazy. Am I breaking up again?
Yo, shout out Ari the Rugged, man. That was dope. What a good dude, man. This guy, I just messaged him out of nowhere. I never spoke to him in my life, and he agreed to come on, man. That's a legit dude, man. I hope you guys purchase his new album when it drops. I hope you purchase the merch. I hope you support him, man. Much respect. All right. Hope to speak again soon, man. Peace.